Howdy, gang, and welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host here at the Gaming Gang channel. Thanks for joining me once again. Today, I had the opportunity to speak with Mattias Johnsson Haake of Free League Publishing, and we discussed the project that is currently burning up Kickstarter. That's right, it is the Kickstarter for the Walking Dead universe role-playing game, which funded within its first few moments when it went live this past Tuesday. So without further ado, let's jump on into my interview with Mattias Johnsson Haake. Mattias Johnsson Haake is joining me, and we are going to talk about a really big Kickstarter that is currently going on for Free League Publishing. And of course, I am talking about the Walking Dead universe role-playing game. So first of all, Mattias, thanks for joining me. How are you doing?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm a little bit tired after this week. Managing the Kickstarter, answering questions, answering messages, doing interviews, but I can't say that I'm anything but super happy. I mean, it's been a marvelous start to the Kickstarter campaign, and yeah, the response has been great so far. So yeah, happy but super tired.
Sure, of course. Well, you'd rather be tired and happy than have a lot of energy and be very upset.
That's true.
So what we're going to do is we're going to talk a bit about this Kickstarter. And last time I looked, for one, it funded in the first few moments that it was live. I know last time I took a peek, it's around $430,000 in backing for the role-playing game. And I know a lot of people have a bunch of questions about this, so I'm going to tackle a few of those with you. And the first one that I have to ask, because I do a live show, and when I did the news piece about the Kickstarter, quite a few people in chat were kind of curious, why now for the role-playing game? Why has AMC decided to work with Free League Publishing now to do a Walking Dead role-playing game?
Yeah, I'm actually not the right person to answer this, because we are working with Genuine Entertainment's Joel Favi as an in-between middleman. He helped us in the past with Alien and Blade Runner and so on. But having listened to him talk about it, I can say something about it. First and foremost, I've been a fan since the start of the TV series, and followed it all, even the spin-offs and the sister series such as Fear the Walking Dead. And as a game designer, I've always pondered the possibility of making, of course, a role-playing game in the vein of The Walking Dead, because it is such a great setting for telling stories, not only of heroism and bravery and killing the dragon, but of stuff that really matters, interpersonal dramas and how we humans can try to stay our very best even in circumstances that are super grim. So
how do we not lose our humanity?
Yeah, very nicely put. So when this inquiry came, it was like because it's not only that, The Walking Dead, not only does it involve, the things that I like. I work a lot with Coriolis and Symbrum and those sort of games where, faction play and big, grayscale morals and all of those things are close to my heart, and I think they are interesting to explore within the framework of a role-playing game. But The Walking Dead has a lot of other interesting stuff as well for me as a role player and a role-playing game designer, in terms of, survival thematics, and you have obviously action, you have horror, you have a lot of different, a lot of different things that make a game really nice. It was just waiting to be made, as I see it. And I'm so happy to be part of making it.
That's why I think many of the people that I've kind of chatted with were surprised that it's kind of like, why did it take so long? That's kind of their question when they're curious. Well, why now? Why did it take so long?
I
guess it was.
Yeah, I can try to, but I think, as Joe usually talks about this, I think the AMC are sort of, after the end of season 11, they're sort of making a new start, or they are really looking to the future, wanting to develop the Walking Dead universe, because it's not only the Walking Dead TV series, it's all these, Fear the Walking Dead and The World Beyond and Tales of the Walking Dead, and there are new series in the making as well. So I think that for us too, it is we don't want to be, I'm sure that many who play this game will play it somewhere just directly after season 11, or somewhere in the middle of that long list of seasons. But we also want to be a part of the sort of new deal, or I don't know how to say it, but it feels like not only summarizing what has been, but also trying to contribute to what the Walking Dead universe can become in the future.
Sure.
Even if we only have a small part in that.
So this is going to utilize Year Zero engine.
Yeah.
And I know that Free League Publishing has tweaked that engine quite a bit for various different role-playing games. So for, say, Twilight 2000, it's a bit crunchier. It's got a bit more mechanics to it, different dice. Now, I took a quick peek, and it looks like this utilizes just 6-sided dice. And does that mean that this is going to skew closer to the Year Zero engine overall and be a little bit lighter mechanically than, say, a Twilight 2000 would be?
Yeah, that's definitely a fair assessment. Then again, pretty crunchy systems such as that for Coriolis and Forbidden Lands, and also use the dice pool system. But in this case, we are the lead designer of this the Walking Dead universe role-playing game is Nils Hintze. And some of you may be familiar with his previous work. He made Tales from the Loop RPG and also Vaesen RPG. So if you have played any of them, then you are familiar with the basics of the rule set already. What we have done in this case is that Nils has sort of borrowed the stress mechanic from Alien, and taken it for a ride or for a spin. So in this game, just like in Alien, you will gain stress by pushing your dice rolls, re-rolling basically your dice rolls. But you will also gain stress from other factors, such as, seeing someone get bitten or die, or when you are, detected or by walkers, so that they start moving in on you and start, closing in on you. You will also get stress. And these stress points make it so that every time you roll any kind of skill roll, you have to add a number of stress dice to that roll. So your chances of succeeding are improved because the idea is that you get, more stressed out, but also more sharp, more alert, more on
right. More adrenaline.
Yeah, exactly. But it also makes you more prone to make mistakes. So if you roll a 1 on any of these stress dice, it is in this game called rolling a walker, you mess up. And messing up when there are walkers about is, of course, not a very good thing. So what the cool thing about what Nils has done with the stress mechanic here is that one of the things that are likely to happen when you mess up on a roll is that the threat level, something called the threat level, goes up. And what the threat level is, it's a representation of basically the threat from walkers in the surroundings. So as soon as you leave your safe haven, you are at constant threat of running into walkers. And if you mess up, make loud noises, or it can be other things as well, but you are going to start alerting the walkers of your presence, and they will start moving in. Mess up again, and they will come closer. They will know where you are and start moving in your direction. And this threat level will go up and up and up for various reasons. But one of them is because you mess up. So what the stress system does here is that messing up doesn't only affect you as a player or player character. It affects the whole group, and indeed, it affects the world around you. So, and I think that's
And it's. I was going to say, it sounds like it's really also designed as a storytelling mechanic.
Oh yeah.
So that you keep ratcheting up the tension with your players, and then every time they roll a 1, you're like, oh no.
Yeah, and it's also becomes sort of a tactical game. Do we stay back and try to hide under this rug, or do we dare try to sneak away from them, meaning rolling dice and thereby risking messing up again? So it becomes a sort of a tactical game as well. I think Joe Lefave, my dear colleague, put it something like the game is very much for the PCs about when they are out and about. It's do we dare?
Sure.
Do we dare? Most often the external pressure of the situation you are in is so strong that you most often, you decide that you need to be brave or need to muster the courage to try and accomplish your current goal. And this is also one thing I love about a role-playing game is when there are actually situations when you decide, no, the cost is too high. We turn and run.
Time to run.
Yeah.
Right. So something else I've noticed with the Kickstarter is that it looks like the approach to this is similar to the Blade Runner role-playing game, which is phenomenal. And there is a core rule book, and then there's also a starter set. And I've noticed from, say, Alien, the role-playing game, that if someone picks up the starter set, normally that gives them enough rules and mechanics for them to play any of the adventures that have come out, because they've been cinematic adventures. Is that going to be kind of the same approach that's taken with the Walking Dead universe? Is that the starter set will allow players to, and game masters, to utilize other products that come out?
Yeah, that would most likely be the case here as well. What the core book adds to the starter set is basically character generation, which is, of course, central if you want to create your own game and your own setting.
Of course.
And it also includes in-depth instructions for what is called the campaign mode of play. So and this is also similar to Alien. You have the campaign play, and you have the cinematic. It's called in that sense. Here it's called the survival mode scenarios.
Right.
And the starter set will come with a survival mode scenario for the Walking Dead universe, and includes also pre-made player characters that are specifically designed for that particular scenario, and they will have some secret agendas and stuff that will come into play during the scenario. So that
We've
is
seen that with
exactly.
Alien, the role-playing game, yes. And then I was going to say that the introductory adventure that's in Blade Runner, all the handouts and everything are just amazing. It is fantastic. So it's important for people to understand that the starter set and the core rulebook actually complement each other. They don't necessarily overwrite each other. Whereas some people with most role-playing games, they'd say, oh, I'm going to just get the starter set. I don't need other things yet. Whereas in the Kickstarter with the starter set and the core rulebook, you're getting a really complete package.
Yeah,
at least that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also very much a question of what type of game you and your friends in your group enjoy, because if you want to play sort of something similar to the TV series, about characters evolving, trying to figure things out together, ending up in stressful and challenging situation that they must deal with. They must deal with loss, they must deal with hope, they must deal with love, and so on and so forth. Then the core book should be your drug, because it's
right
where you find the instruction for the campaign mode. But if you instead are interested in, let's just jump in right into the action, into one of the episodes of any of the Walking Dead TV shows, and have a situation that is critical, that needs to be handled right away, and that the stakes are super high, then you should probably look at the starter set. And my hope is, of course, that you may want to run that long campaign that is sort of similar to a whole season of the TV series. But then again, at other times, you just want to pick up that box really quickly, have the pre-made characters, the location maps, and then just start rolling. So they play a bit differently.
Will the core book also have rules for the players to build their own safe havens?
Yeah. That is. I think Nils Hinze said that one of his principles when designing the game was that everything, and I mean everything, that's very ambitious, but practically everything that you see the characters do in the TV series, you should be able to understand and explain that using the rules and guidelines of the game. So there are rules for it's actually called your haven, establishing and developing your haven. There are rules for exploration and scavenging. There are not super much, but at least, but there are, as we see it, enough of survival and resource management. It's mostly food that is food and water and the bare essentials. There are rules for things like you get stressed when you are out and about, but how do you get rid of that stress? So then you have the systems with the PC and NPC anchors that you can spend time with, talking, having a smoke or kissing behind the barn, and sort of feel some of that pressure and stress drain off. So yeah, I would say Nils has watched and rewatched the shows, looking for stuff that, man, the rules don't really apply to this situation. I must come up with something. So even if it's rules light, because it is not very complicated and detailed rules in regards to managing your haven or developing it and whatnot. The rules are very light, but they are very comprehensive, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Now, the other question I would ask is this almost finished? Because my understanding is that I believe that the expected delivery on the physical starter set and the physical core book should be November-ish. But that's a pretty quick turnaround right there on a role-playing game. Mm. So I also understand that the game is almost complete. So backers should be receiving PDFs not long after the Kickstarter wraps up. Am I correct in that understanding?
Yeah, they will not be completely finished PDFs. They will be sort of beta PDFs because, the game is largely finished. The core book is. We have some work to do with the starter set. And also during this campaign, I think we have unlocked something like 30 stretch goals already. And we are only on day 3. That's right. Yeah.
Right. Right.
So, and I just today, this morning, I asked my dear backers for understanding the fact that we can't introduce stretch goals that are super extravagant, not least because that would destroy our timeline for this project. The aim is still to have the physical products out in November, but I mean, today it's so hard to say with the shipping and logistics.
I was going to say it's impossible sometimes to predict because who knows what'll happen next.
Yeah,
Mattias, is there anything? Oh no, finish up. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm saying that we will work super hard on our front to do what we can to make that happen. And also, we want to give you backers a chance to review the alpha or beta PDFs and provide feedback, and so that when we are finished and send these books to print, they will shine. They will be so polished, they shine.
Are there any final thoughts about this Kickstarter that you'd like to share with the audience?
There are so many. First, can I say thank you to everyone? First, a big thank you to everyone who has supported us thus far. It has been, we didn't really know what the interest would be in a Walking Dead role-playing game because we have never done a game that is this geared for drama and character development and character relations and faction play and politics and whatnot. So I was a little bit unsure of how, especially the people who are already playing free league games would react to this one. But it's been amazing so far, and I'm super happy because the game, as I said, Nils Hintz is the lead designer. I've happily jumped on board as the game director and one of 2 editors for the game. It's me and Thomas Herenstam. And as this process has evolved, the game, I think it really deserves to be noticed. And I'm so happy that people are jumping in and supporting us on this final stretch of the, we are heading into post-production and printing and those sort of things, and knowing that we have this horde of not walkers but backers at our back will feel really, really nice.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to checking it out. I know when this is pretty much ready to go, Boel will send me the PDFs to take a look at and everything. So one last thing I do want to mention, Mattias, is keep up the good work on Symborum and Ruins of Symborum. Oh. Because I know a lot of folks at the Gaming Gang and a lot of our visitors and viewers really, really love that role-playing setting.
No, as you know, the final part of the Throne of Thorns is in the making, and it's been severely delayed for various reasons. And I'm super sorry about that. I wanted to see it on the shelves before I turned 50, and that's soon 3 months ago. So no one is more eager than me to see it on the shelves. But I will not present it to the world until we are happy with everything about it. So, but we will soon see a pre-order on that.
Excellent. Mattias Johnsson Haake, thank you very much for taking some time out today so we could talk a bit more about the Walking Dead universe role-playing game, which is currently up on Kickstarter. Thanks a bunch.
Thanks for having me.
And a big thank you once again to Mattias Johnsson Haake for taking some time out to chat with me about the Walking Dead universe role-playing game, which once again is currently up on Kickstarter. It is fully funded. In fact, as I mentioned earlier, it funded within the first few moments, and you can still back this project through April 5th to get on board for either the starter set, the core book, or both. All right, thank you very much for checking out this video. If you liked the video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And, of course, if you do subscribe, don't forget, ding that bell. It'll not only let you know when I upload videos such as this interview, it'll also inform you when my live stream, the Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evenings right here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for the latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more that you won't find here on the YouTube channel. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Thanks for tuning in, and until I see you next time, here's hoping each and every one of you gets to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang. Oh, hey, you're still here. That's okay. You don't have to leave just yet. In fact, why don't you subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel right here, or take a peek at the latest live stream, or even find out what YouTube recommends you check out from the channel. And of course, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thanks again.